11:40? 11:40 a.m. Call this meeting to order. The first on the agenda is the reorganization of the board. What's your pleasure?
You're happy to have you stay on as chair if you would.
What?
I'm happy to nominate you to stay on for chairman if you would.
I'll check the way things are.
Do we have to fill the secretary though, don't we?
We just have to fill one of the treasurers. Right now we have our chairman as Mr. Racine, vice chairman as Mr. Gomes. Treasurer was Isabel and Steph. Hopefully by the next month, we will have another lieutenant board member. It's just waiting to be approved by the selectmen. There were only actually one interest in it. So it's going to go to the selectmen board, I believe June 29th, correct? June 29th.
I don't believe as the governor's appointing, I'm supposed to take any of them seats, correct?
Yes, yep.
So, where does that leave us?
So if you wanted to keep everything the same, or and we just vote for Mr. Gomes and, or I mean, however you guys want to do it, you could just do it any way you want. If you want to just wait till the next meeting, you can do that. It would be nice to, with the two treasurers, because it'd be nice to have a treasurer here in case somebody can't come by to sign a check, so that would be something really good for us.
Why don't we wait until Ms. Vaughn Justice Avenue to see if she's willing to accept one of those roles?
Okay. Can we table it till the next meeting?
We have a chairman, we have a treasurer for now, and
Yep.
we'll keep it that way till the next meeting.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Now we have the review of the minutes of the month of May. That was tabled.
That's March. March was tabled.
And also the minutes of March 17th. No, March 17th was tabled, right?
Yep.
We have the May 18th minutes, and I'll make a motion to accept them. Mr. Racine and I are the only two that are here that were there.
Okay.
So I think we got all up.
Can he second? Can the chairman second a motion or not?
I believe so, but I think we still need a third to pull them through anyways, so.
Okay, so we'll go back again.
Okay. Now, so you review the warrant of,
So we table in May also?
Yes.
Table in March and May. Okay, so table both. Okay. Okay. So now we're on the warrant.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant for May 2022.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. To vote on a total pension fund appropriation for 2023.
Yes. So every year, as everybody knows, we've been paying back to recoup the funds in Bristol County Retirement. It's something we've been paying every year. They give us a choice whether we want to pay it in full or half, but there is this charge every year for the last 4 or 5 years we've been paying in full. I just need a board vote to go ahead and pay for the fiscal year 2023 our appropriation, $22,865.
Motion to pay the bill in full.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Need a vote for purchase outdoor grill for the place near the Regola.
Yes, so
You have a price on that?
I have been looking, and I just want to bring this to the board before I even go there. I just want to let the board know we brought the table, we brought the chairs. Our tenant here, Kathy, she decided she was going to have a cookout last minute on Memorial Day, and we were just very pleased to say that over 30 residents showed up to her cookout. And we brought her a grill from the Lions Club here. We knew she was going to have a cookout. We knew she was going to invite everybody here, not knowing how many people. And she actually managed to cook for 30 people on that little grill. So when I heard that, I thought, there's no way she can cook on that grill for 30 people. And I think more people are gonna come out for the next one. A lot of people didn't realize it. So I would like to get like a 48-inch grill. We don't need the side burners. I've been looking, they range from anywhere from like 400 to like 700. I think we can get one, you know, of course I'm gonna go with the one that's the better price. But I'm hoping, I know at the Tenants Association got together and we talked about, when Kathy did this party, she kind of just did it on a whim. But now the Tenants Association this week has got a committee to do parties, so now it falls under the umbrella of the Housing Authority Tenants Association. So with that being said, I think there's gonna be something for the 4th of July, so I'd like to just look, get the best price and get the grill here. So that will go ahead and.
Where's the money coming from?
It is coming from the money that we got from the 10% of the project for the vinyl siding.
Okay.
I think it was like $26,000. We did purchase the table and chairs. I think that ended up being around $2,800. And there's a few more things I would like to purchase, and that would be it. I have to say, every night this week, and they can vouch for me, people are coming out, they're using it, they're enjoying it. They radios, they're bringing all kinds of stuff. We had a lady that doesn't come out often. She came out and had dinner in it the other night. So it is definitely bringing out people. So I think it's just great for them.
You think 450 will cover it?
I think I can really do it for under 500. I think maybe 479, 489.
Make a motion to appropriate up to $500 for the use of an outdoor grill for the whole tenant association.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Now, vote to vote 56, so from 2019 inspection. You have amount on that?
Well, we did have an amount in 2019, but it's probably going to be different now. What happened was in 2019, there was quite a few ceilings that need to be fixed. I'm sure upon this this inspection, because we're going to start inspections again, we might find more. But we do have to get them fixed because they've been sitting in our work order archive. So when we get audited, we have to prove that we fixed them because they stopped all construction during COVID. How many units? I think there was like 6 of them.
I think around 6 got it pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how much because I just wanted to get it on the agenda. What we usually do is we put out a statement. We call 3 people because it's going to be under $10,000. And we just go with the lowest bidder. It's something that needs to be done. There are a lot of ceilings that are cracking, chipping, peeling, and it definitely just needs to be. It's been on the table since 2018.
So you really don't have an amount.
I don't have them out, but I can get the 3 quotes and bring it to the next board meeting. We can do it for June, if that's what you want. I just wanted to put it on there just in case.
Just a ballpark.
Do you remember what the ballpark? I think it was like 6,500. That's just in my head, but I'm not positive.
Sure, yeah, probably about 600 a piece, 700, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so, but we can, I can get I can table it and get a better price for you when I have it. Can you get 3 people
I
to come out?
got a call.
Yeah, we're gonna table that like what, till June or July?
Till July 2nd.
Yeah, I got some.
At the table?
That's a lie, is.
Motion to table.
These guys are
Second.
Now, the extension for the patio under the pergola, lowest bidder.
So I called quite a few companies and I can't even get anybody to come out for a bid, but I did have one gentleman come out. Unfortunately, the pavers that we have, and I didn't realize that they look like general common pavers, they don't make them anymore. So the person that came out had suggested to do just concrete around the edge. It is a tripping hazard, that's why there's caution tape. And since they are going to be using it a lot, it is in our best interest to extend the patio so they can extend the chairs and tables and everything. I'm not sure the exact amount, but the one person I did that call come out, he's going to come out to measure for the cement. I'm not sure if it's something that we can just, he said if the board does vote to have this done, he can actually start doing the work next week. I think it's kind of important because I just don't want to see one of our tenants trip and fall.
So where the funds coming from that?
The funds also coming from the extra money that we received.
How much concrete are you talking about?
Just figured out about 2.5 yards.
I'm going to see if the sheriff's program can come and do the prep, pull out the rocks, And we can use the rocks, because we want to redo in front of all the buildings, like clean that up nice, so we'll reuse the rocks out of there in other areas. And then just have it prepped, so they can just come out and do concrete.
I'm all for it. I would like to see the price before putting it forward, but I also want to get it done sooner than later. It is an issue out there. It probably shouldn't be much more than $1,000. I don't know what you're looking at. I have no
Yeah,
problem.
you've got 2.5 yards of concrete, it's, you know, it's not, I told Mike we can do it, just me and him, but not right now.
Yeah.
You can be the foreman then.
No, I can finish it.
Maybe we can go with a limit, and if the
Yeah,
general,
why don't, if
the
it's
gentleman-
$1,000 or under, I'll make a motion, we move forward. If it's gonna be that, I'd like to have a chance to take a look at it and get a better price.
okay. That works for me.
Second that. Andy, you second it?
Yes, I did. Sorry.
Motion passed. Notice of purchase of gliders, planters, or outdoor pergola.
I know it sounds like we're spending a lot of money, but the sitting area is out there. We have the table, which we were able to fit eight chairs. There were a lot of people that did bring some fold-up chairs, which is really nice. The other thing that we've been looking at, and they do use it, and the table is it's called Hollywood, and there's a place on Route 6 in Dartmouth that has the Hollywood gliders, and I think they fit two additional people instead of the swing with the cover. It's 2 gliders. I just figured if I could get, they're 800, I think they're $850 a piece, and I'm just bringing this to the board. I mean, it's up to you guys. I know if we buy them, they'll use them. And then a couple of planters. I don't expect to spend more than like $250 on planters. So we're probably looking at like $1,800 to $1,900 for the two Amish gliders and some planters for under there. And then with the cement and everything else, that will be the end of spending out there. Also, the Tenants Association has come up with possibly having a like gardeners club, so if we do have some planters that we put around here, they would be willing to maintain, take care of that. We do buy flowers every year, we do put some of that in our budget, so we wouldn't have to worry about the flowers, but we do have the Tenants Association working to get some of the residents to go ahead and take care of the flowers that are planted. What's that? Well, the $850, so 17. It probably would be more than $1,900 to $2,000 for that. And we did have $26,000 in there. You know, we did. You know, it's just a nice place. They have no place else to sit. It's a great place to sit, and I wouldn't go for that for them unless I did know that they are out there every day and they are using it.
One time till 9 o'clock at night. Way past our bedtime.
And you actually said one of the tenants fell asleep in there.
I almost fell asleep, but damn.
And this Hollywood stuff is not something that like in 2 years or 3 years it lasts forever. It's like a plastic composite and
Like the table, right?
like it's just like the table, correct. Just something I'm mentioning because they did say that, you know, it would be nice to have a little bit more seating. Once the patio is extended with the cement, it's gonna open it right up, so it's gonna be a big open area, so it will, you know, give more area to put those seats on.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's no issue with the money for it.
We have the 26,000, the 10% that came in, and even if we spend 6, we still have 20 in the pot for anything else that does happen.
That's my thing. I just want to make sure we're not shorting ourselves anywhere else.
No, we can spend that money in any way, but like I said, I mean, I really think it's going to benefit the tenants.
Motion for up to $2,000 for 2 gliders and planters. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Now, we're hoping to hire a computer for website designer.
Yes, so at the conference we went to down the Cape, Mass Narrow took it upon themselves, which was great, to do basically the procurement of a computer company to come in, and they want every housing authority pretty much to have the same website, very easy to use, easy for the tenants to use. If the tenants, like we're renewing all these policies will be uploaded to the website. So if anybody has any questions, everything's right there, easy for all the tenants to use. Right now we do have a website, but it's through the town, but we can't change anything. Every time we want something changed, somebody from the town has to do it. So there's two packages. The first package is the essential package. It's $4.99, and that's a one-time cost. And that would give us basically what you see here. But we won't be able to go in and change it. We have to hire them and pay them every time we need something changed on the website. On the back of the page, the next package is $1,099. It's a one-time cost, and it does not include support. But once we learn how to use it, we technically shouldn't be able to, we shouldn't need support unless something big happens. We need a website, we don't have one. We've been looking into one for a long time. They're a lot more than $1,099. I asked the board, that's gonna come out of the administrative costs, but I asked the board definitely to go ahead and vote. We definitely need a website. Just if somebody puts in the Acushnet Housing Authority, our own personal website will come in. There'll be pictures of inside the units. There'll be pictures of everything, so it'll give somebody, somebody that wants to apply a better opportunity. It'll also, we can actually push it with the town, so if they go on the town's website, it will direct them here. It will also hook up to CHAMP, so if somebody wants to apply for our website, they can get right on the CHAMP website and apply right through the Acushnet Housing Authority website. And we can hook it up to other things, services for them, all kinds of different things we can hook up, like if they're looking for something specific that we can help them with, whether it's any kind of programs. I can actually list them, so they can get their programs, just click on it, and it can direct them to anywhere else they need to go.
Which one would you recommend?
What's the benefit of having this? I mean,
The state's gonna make us all have one. The benefit of doing it right now is Mass Narrow got a group price, so we're all gonna spend less money. It's a lot more than $1,099 to have a web designer come in and design everything. Every housing authority is gonna have the same basic setup, so it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be very user-friendly. And it's just nice because if somebody wants to see pictures, we can't show anybody units because they're usually all taken. But we can say, oh, if you go on our website, you can see what our units look like, and we put a picture of a corner unit, a picture of an inside unit. So the advantages of people just coming and seeing exactly what everything looks like.
I'm just thinking we have a backlog, and we will always have a wait list. It isn't like we need to advertise.
Yeah, the state's gonna make us have one anyway, and this is just an opportunity for Mass Narrow to give us a better price to go ahead and get it rolling. And it's so nice that everybody, like, they're starting to get on the same page, that everybody has the same like website that was set up, the way it's all set up. It's just easier for everybody to use.
So which one would you?
So you want to get the $1,100?
Yeah, $1,100, because like today, if we change a policy, I could update it, and I could go in and change it myself. I don't have to pay somebody else to change it for me. So in the long run, for $1,099, you don't have to use their services all the time.
That's fine, but you're not looking for any service right now? Either of these monthly services?
No, not right now, but like it says right here, the basic support and hosting is $49 a month. That actually is a fee that we have to pay monthly. I believe that we have to pay that, because we need a license, we need a browser or whatever, and they explain all that to us.
So as soon as you sign up for the $1,100, you are signing up for $50.
So $50 a month. But like I said, the state is gonna make it mandatory that we do, every housing authority does have a website. And not only that, like, just in March when we did our capital plan, the capital plan now, all of our audits, they're online. So if somebody wants to go into our website, they can pick up our audits, how we're doing, how it's running, our capital plans, our construction, they can figure out everything right through our website.
So
And there is money in our budget for our accounting.
that was my next question. That's a regular budget thing. It's going to be the $1,700, but it's also going to be $600 a year in our budget. We have the money for it.
Yes, we do, and there might, eventually they might give us some kind of deduction, because usually when they want us to have something, they'll give us a deduction in our budget for a line item like this. They haven't said it yet, but it might come this year, because they did push a website for all housing authorities at the conference.
Make a motion for the advanced package with the basic support.
Second.
In favor? It passes. Director's report.
So our day-to-day activities, we were supposed to start training for the new PHA website. Unfortunately, our trainer was sick, so the training is postponed to next year. We're starting all of our preparation for the fiscal year end. It does end on the 30th of this month, and we'll be working with the accountant just to get all our year end in for the state. And that's it, basically just day-to-day operations, taking care of the office, and just been doing that as usual. That's all I have for that.
This is all business.
Yep.
That's all at the end of the report?
No, I had
Oh, you're
to,
right.
yeah, so next on my report will be old business.
That's
So,
about the agreement on the automated laundry.
yes, so I looked into the automated laundry, and they do have us on the schedule. I asked them if they just could give me a couple of days, because I read the whole lease agreement, and on the lease agreement, the laundry's gonna be $1.50. And they're gonna bring in one front loader and one top loader wash machine. So if somebody has a hard time with the top loader, they can go ahead and use the front loader. And it's gonna be 2 dryers, just like we have now. So it's $1.50 right now. But when I read the lease agreement, I wanted to bring it up to the board, because this wasn't in our original vote. It says it's $1.50, and then they increase it by 10 cents every 3 years. So that's probably to cover the cost, the raise in the different wash machines. The only good thing about that is it's not like we're going to have these wash machines till they die. Because we rent them, they're constantly updating the equipment, so it's not like we're going to have to worry about the equipment. Yeah.
10 cents over 3 years, that's what you're saying?
Every 3 years, 10 cents.
Sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Okay. I didn't want to sign it because I didn't tell you that on the last meeting, so I just need a vote. Any second?
Accept the lease agreement with the automated laundry.
Second.
All in favor?
All right. Under old business, we talked about this, but we actually haven't had a board vote on it, and I just need a board vote to continue. Under the $75,000 opera funds, we were able to do a change order for the electrical firebox panel in our office. It's going to be about $16,000. It's covered under opera funds. I just need a board vote to go ahead and accept the change order. The reason why we did a change order, we didn't close the project. It's open. If we do a change order, they can just come in and change that box. If we close that project, then they would have had to have an engineer coming out. We'd have to have the whole thing redesigned just for that one box. So I just need a board vote to accept the change order for the electrical firebox panel. The money's coming out of the opera funds, the $75,000 opera funds.
Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? The new business.
New business.
Discussion on possible management contract for other agencies.
Yes. Something else that had come up on the Mass Now conference is years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, they were going to try to do regionalization with housing authorities, but a lot of the small housing authorities didn't want to do it. It was going to change the dynamics of the board members, and it was just voted down and it didn't happen. But what's happening with other small agencies is when the directors are leaving, which there's a lot of directors right now that are retiring, they're offering management contracts. So I just want to bring this up to the board, because there is a small housing authority that's possibly coming up and needing a management contract. If we go ahead, the Acushnet Housing Authority, go ahead and we do a management contract with this specific agency, it benefits all of us. And the way that it benefits all of us is in this management contract. I don't know the exact figures, but I think it's about $53,000. So with that being said, there's so many hours that have to be put into this particular housing authority. So Nancy and I would split our time, add extra hours at the expense of their housing authority. We could work out of both housing authorities, but if Nancy has something to do, or basically more of me, if I have computer work to do for both agencies, I can do it there or here. the benefit of the management agency is I have to take on more hours, but I would also get, more paid for it. But $26,000 of that $53,000 would be coming into the Acushnet Housing Authority budget. So they're paying us, they're paying me and Nancy, but they're also paying the Housing Authority to do all this work. I think it's a great thing.
Because of the expenses, I guess.
Yes, because all the
Computers and.
yeah, and that's also something else that we can take that money and use it for construction. We can use it for whatever we want to use it for. We can put it in our, plan to, update, upgrade, do whatever we need. It can fix an apartment, whatever the board decides to do with that money, they can do with that.
It sounds like you both want more time, more hours,
Sure.
more job,
Yeah.
more
I just
responsibility.
think they might just, like, if we do this as a first year contract and then they'll extend it for 2, see if everybody's working along. What's great is this board just operates this place and that board operates that place. They're just basically like paying a director, and their director is the Acushnet Housing Authority. I think it's great. I think there's a couple more. There's some small housing authorities out there that are taking on 2 or 3.
It does sound like it would be easier to do it the second time around. Everything you're doing for here,
Yeah.
you just do it again.
Yes, but there's so many
You don't have to do
benefits.
homework on it because you've done it all.
Exactly. And another benefit of that, and there may be a couple more little ones coming up, and Nancy and I are just trying to figure out, only because once you get to the point where you have so many, now you have 4 maintenance men. And we're the Acushnet Housing Authority is in charge of all 4 maintenance men. So if there's a project here that, we have to hire, a contractor or somebody else, another maintenance man to help Mike, we don't have to do that, because we can just turn around and say, Tuesday, you're gonna be in Acushnet, or Wednesday, you're gonna be somewhere else. And it benefits everybody. So, I mean, if
Especially
it's-
with vacations. and
with
things like that.
vacations, we'll have coverage for maintenance. I think it's a win-win for everybody. And once it comes up, I was just told to bring that to the board's attention because it may come up pretty quick. If it does come up, it's something that we would be interested in. Like I said, it's a win-win for everybody. And it makes our portfolio bigger, because now our portfolio is Acushnet and Swansea. So it really benefits the Acushnet Housing
That's the
Authority.
other one.
What's that?
I guess that's the other one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Or Somerset, or Dayton. I don't know,
You can go up
I'm
until
just
then.
saying, could be anybody. I mean, it doesn't mean we're gonna get it, it just means that we can actually apply for it, so.
If we get it and you or anybody decides, you don't want the hours anymore, how do we get that work done?
Well, that's been a tricky conversation that came up at the meeting. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it unless everybody was on board, but housing authorities do it. And the thing is, once you're an employee for a housing authority, some employees just, if they're in the office for 40 hours, they may just do, 30 hours here, 7 hours there. So you're still splitting up the time. The one good benefit to somebody is if, like say Nancy's working here and I say, no, you have to go to Swansea, but she drove to Acushnet, at least her mileage will be covered between Acushnet and Swansea. Not from home to here to get it home, but between traveling back and forth to agency. And that's what the extra money that the housing authority gets also can cover. But I mean, it's just, if you do it for 2 years, and just say if it's $25,000 for 2 years that come into the authority, that's $50,000 towards repairs for the Acushnet Housing Authority that we have that we would have never had before. So,
I just want to, I guess my thing is how do we guarantee we can get that job done? It's not something we're doing.
yeah, well,
something
it's come up in
And
time.
at that point, now we're ordering you to do it, and you say, well, you know what, I don't want another job, and you quit, now we can't even run our own, never mind somebody else's.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna take it on, it's gonna be because we're
You want
gonna,
to.
we're gonna do it. But as far as Taunton, I know they've taken on quite a few smaller agencies, which is nice for me. It really does benefit the maintenance department for little housing authorities. But something like that, they were union, and the union took it to court, and the court said, no, you work for the town housing authority, and you have to work
Delivery.
within their guidelines. And if they take on management contract, that does fall within their guidelines. And we don't need to vote or anything, I just wanted to bring that up to you guys, just to let you know that there are opportunities out there.
Do you bid on them, or do they tell you what it's worth?
No, what happens is we we all, like you apply for it, like you're applying for a job, so you apply for it and then they're probably gonna interview and see who would they rather have oversee their place. And once they do it, it's an automatic figure, no matter who takes on a specific management contract, it goes by the amount of units, if they're federal, if they have certificates, so. But it won't affect us at all because it's gonna still be the same hours here. We just might be adding extra hours there, so. Something definitely to consider.
If on both on new summer hours for the office.
Yes, so last year we did summer hours, we closed on Fridays. And actually we discussed this, I talked about it with Mr. Racine and not for a vote or anything, but with the price of gas lately, it's been crazy because both of us work a little over 30 miles away. And we kind of came up with a solution that would be actually better for the housing authority to each do a 3-day week with longer hours. So the office was closed on Fridays last summer. But if both of us put in a 3-day week, it would keep the office open from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and probably till about 3:30 on Mondays. So it would help us with the gas savings, but it would also give more office hours to the authority.
6:30, you could have that.
I did write the hours down, and the other reason too is she's gonna be commuting with somebody, but it's really nice because from 6:30 to 8 in the morning, she's just gonna have closed door hours, so she can just get specific office work done, and then she'll open the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 4:30. And she'll be doing both resident service, she'll be mixing the hours between resident service and office hours. But there's a lot of times here she's doing resident service, but she's also answering the phone, so. A little bit of a mixture.
You said we were closed last summer on Fridays. Was there any issues with it? Did we have any problems?
Not that was brought to our attention.
Oh, good.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. I'll update on the following policies.
All right. So some of the policies, it looked like in the policy book that directors in the past might have tried to update them because the policies were missing from the jacket. So I did the best I could to find policies that are pretty close to what we have been doing all along. So the first one though is a policy that was, it has to be voted in by every housing authority before June 30th of this year. And it's the a reasonable accommodation and modification policy. And basically, we've had one in the past, I couldn't find ours. And it's just stating that, and we do it all the time, if any of our tenants get sick, get hurt, or need some kind of reasonable accommodation to help them with any disability or anything that they need to live, that we have to go ahead and do it. We've done it from day one, and we just want to is that one here? Am I not clicking on the right one?
The handbook?
No?
The big housing?
No, the reasonable accommodation one? Oh my God, I printed it out right. I'm gonna skip over that one. That's not the one that has to be,
Got the limited English one and the apartment inspection and
yeah.
checks.
All right, actually, I'm gonna skip to the next one. I'm not even sure if I printed that one, so I'm gonna table this one. I apologize. I worked on this one. This one was the Fair Housing and Marketing Plan. If you go to that policy, in your file, it has the blue and the black with it. This actually was generated by the state of Massachusetts. It's a new policy to give rights to minorities and age discrimination, all kinds of different discriminations. So we just all put our name in the blank spots, and it just wants to list the demographics in all the areas. So in the back, it tells you the demographics of the Providence Warwick area, the Bristol County, and then it also says the town demographics. And we have to make sure that our housing authority is within the demographics of the town, a certain percentage of the town, which I think right now we are. Right now, our percentage of LHA, elderly handicapped, is 3.3% in minority. They might change that, but we have to just adopt this new policy for our books, just so we're getting audited and they're starting to fill in more of a minority in a lot of housing authorities, and they just want to make sure that all housing authorities are hitting the level of minorities that they need to host.
Motion to adopt the federal fair housing laws as part of Acushnet's policy.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes.
And then there's one about the policy to address improving access to services for persons with limited English. That's a new policy also. That's basically straight down the line in the housing authorities. What it basically says, and we work within other housing authorities, we haven't had that problem here yet, but if somebody does come into the authority that speaks different languages, we don't have anybody in the office that speaks, that we can get them somebody that we can translate back and forth, whether it's using another housing authority, teaming up with somebody. So basically it's a policy to make sure that if we do have anybody that doesn't speak English, that we can provide the proper services, so they have the right to talk to us and speak with us, so we can fix any problems that they may have. I did fix Swansea's, but it's straight down the line, so I haven't had a chance to switch it over to our name, but if this policy is voted on, then we can go ahead and just change everything that says Swansea to Acushnet. And I do believe like there is a percentage, in order for us to do certain things, it has to be more than 5% of 1,000 people. So we do have legal that we work with, so if anything is in question, we can work with them on if we have to provide certain services, to people. But usually when there is somebody that comes in, we do, get somebody to speak to them so we can understand them.
I'm going to go through the next couple and do them all at the same time.
Perfect. Okay. The next policy is the check signing policy. So that also wasn't in the folder. I picked up Swansea's. Swansea does it different than us. I also called the bank because this policy is supposed to be registered with the bank. But we do have to change that back because during COVID we did ask the bank to go to one-person check signing. But since COVID let up, we are having 2 people sign the check. So as far as Swansea states that all checks need 2 signatures, whether it's 2 board members or 1 board member and 1 management agency. I'm a firm believer in if it's not broke, you don't have to fix it. I've never signed a check. I'm very happy never signed a check. So I think that we should do the wording in the first paragraph and change, adopt this one without the manager agent. I think we should just always have 2 board members signing the checks, like we've done from day one.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
That's fine. There's no change there, so we're gonna have to vote on it.
Well, we don't have our original. I don't know where the original policy is. It was never accepted to the bank. So if we can just adopt this policy, because like I said, some of the policies are missing from the folder, and there's no way for me to locate them. So if we go ahead and adopt this policy with all the word except, just taking out one board member and the management agency, it just should read all checks bear 2 signatures of either 2 board members.
I'm all on board. I just wanted to hear the last apartment inspection and put them all together.
Okay, perfect. So as far as the apartment inspections, it's basically, that one was not in the folder either, but it's basically been the same. This is what I was taught. It is the policy of the Acushnet Housing Authority to inspect all apartments at least once a year. A 48-hour notice will be sent prior to the inspection date. It is the responsibility of the tenant as outlined in the lease to keep the apartment clean and safe. The manager has the right to act on any concerns brought to her attention without prior notice to the tenant. Violations will be noted in writing and a re-inspection will be scheduled. Failure to cure a violation may result in further actions by the Acushnet Housing Authority. And where it says the manager has the right to act on any concerns brought to her attention without prior notice, basically, we've only done that once since we've been here, and it was because somebody ran the tub and then didn't realize it and left. And the apartment downstairs, the water was going through the ceiling. So that's the only time that we would actually enter somebody's apartment if it was an emergency. And we had to get in there to protect the housing authority from damage.
I do think that you should just put that in front of any, instead of any concerns, it should say any emergency concerns.
Perfect. Perfect.
I make a motion to accept the policy for the language access plan, check signing policy, and apartment inspection policy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed.
I think that was it for
Any
me.
more?
That's it for me.
You have a motion to accept the director's report.
Make a motion, second director's report.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Passes. Maintenance report.
Well, as you know, we finished up the pergola last couple of weeks ago, and then an apartment came open, so I've been working on that and just doing my normal maintenance. There's nothing major that's been happening here, so cut normal maintenance, cutting grass, and like our projects are just about done. We're looking to start new ones, I guess. So otherwise, that everything's normal.
That's
Only
it.
one apartment empty and being worked on?
Yes.
Got a motion to accept the maintenance report.
Motion made. Second.
Yeah. Are we happy today?
We are happy, but I do have something
No,
to say.
The tenants have the floor.
Thank you. In the downstairs in the back, we have that big control box for the fire.
Yes.
You know, the big one? Okay. Above your head is some of these things, and it is the red fire one. And for some reason, it has a baggie around it. Right into where the wires are. It's all covered with a baggie. It wasn't like that originally.
Yeah, all you have to call the office and we can go right out and look at it.
Oh, well, I mentioned it to Mike, and he said
No.
the next time the guys come, they'll take a look at it. But it sounded like when you were saying they were gonna put a box in it and then you were gonna close the deal. I don't want you to close the deal without them figuring out why they got a baggie around the fire
Yeah,
detector.
you know what, can you do work order for that? I just need a work order, I could actually have the guy come out and everything, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
just call the office.
Just, he was here, and he noticed that, and he says, I don't know why that's covered, and he never took the cover off. I think the kid, I forgot his name, so I didn't touch it.
Was it Kevin?
Kevin's kid.
Okay, I'll have it.
Yeah,
It
she
just
said,
seems
I don't
like
know why
it might
it's
be a
covered.
fire
Anything like
hazard.
that, any maintenance
Yeah.
issues, just call the office, we can take care of that really easy.
Okay, that's it.
That's it, anybody else?
I'm happy.
I have something.
Okay.
It might sound silly.
Is it like a request that I can handle like in the office or?
No,
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
The internet, because we're all sitting out there and we have the cookout and everything, we were trying to hook up the speaker outside to the internet, but it couldn't pick up anyone else's internet. So is there any way that we can get internet out, like even a hotspot in that area so that when we're out there, we can play music?
I can look into a hotspot, but I can't give them the.
We used to have
No, not your internet.
We may be able to,
I can look into a hotspot.
we may be able to do a second one, not like most, if you have internet and you go into, say, the hospital,
Yeah.
they'll have one
Yeah.
that's locked,
Guest.
and then they'll have one that's guest, that
Yeah.
is, only
Oh,
gives
yeah.
them outside
Yeah.
internet
I
access.
can look into that.
I think we
I
have
was
to-
always told that I can't, like they can't get into our internet. So
No.
I don't know, but there is a hotspot over here, so I can have them come over so you can do the hotspot over there.
Yeah, we just didn't have the password for it, because remember the card said that if you're in here, ask for the password.
Yeah,
We had that card here when we got hooked up with,
there's no,
cable.
there's no internet, we can't give you our, like, our password, so I don't.
No,
We'll
not
find
your
out.
password.
I'll call them and look into it.
Every individual cell phone has their own hotspot.
Yeah, but when you stream stuff, it takes a lot of, and if they don't have unlimited access, like,
Connect to a speaker, you don't need internet, you need Bluetooth. Just Bluetooth.
yeah, but to get
We
music.
tried it all day though.
Yeah, you don't need internet to collect
And everybody's a little too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was able to connect.
Yeah, we were able to connect to her.
But we didn't figure that out till the, till the hookup.
Yeah,
And then when she left, we had no radio.
Yeah.
So,
I'll definitely look into that.
Thank you.
Especially when they are, like I said, you guys are using it.
I was playing music before.
on your phone, you have to put it through a speaker. And the speaker does.
I don't know, in the office, I use a speaker because we don't have it, and I can't connect to Bluetooth, it doesn't go through the internet at all. Maybe
Yeah, it does.
kind of speaker.
It does.
Nothing else.
Anything else? That's it? All right. This, next meeting, right?
July 20th, 11 o'clock?
Nancy won't be, oh, you will be here. Yeah.
July 20th at 11 o'clock, the next meeting?
11 o'clock, not 11:30, right?
July 20th at 11.
You want
Should have left the July.
Thank you very much.
Good talk.
My good job.
Thank you, guys.
Motion to adjourn.
So motion to adjourn.
Time I get out there.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, good.